Hello, Miles and MarthaLoss, your local real estate experts. What's going on in the state of Florida with older roofs? Well, this is how it works. Most people, in order to purchase a property, need to get a mortgage. In order to get a mortgage, you must have insurance. In order to get insurance, you have to pass a 4-point inspection. The 4-point inspection is going to look at roof, AC, electrical, and plumbing. So for the roof portion, the home inspector is going to estimate the years of life left on the roof. This used to be 3 to 5 years. So that's where we're going to start. At this point, roofers went out and started soliciting homeowners for a free roof. They would install the roof, then they would help them to get insurance, pay for it, so they would get their free roof. When this started to happen, the insurance industry started to push back. So here's the first change. It went from 3 to 5 years to 5 to 7 years estimated life of left on the roof. The next change was the insurance industry set a hard line at 15 years. After 15 years, you can't get insurance. Well, you can, but you have to go to state-run Citizens, and that's a problem in and of itself. You're going to be at the mercy of their rates, so they could go from $2,000 a year to $6,000, $4,000, whatever. You're stuck. You have to pay it, and if you have a mortgage, you have to have insurance. Now, here's the other part that people don't understand is when you're dealing with a roof, you have the age and the condition. They're two different things. So a roof that's 15 years old could be really good condition, another 5 years of life left, or it could be shot and needs to be replaced. That needs to be determined by a roofer, an engineer, or an inspector. We actually just showed a property where the agent said the roof is 17 years old, and the insurance agent said the roof should last 22 years, so there's 5 years of life left on the roof. That's wrong. That's not how it works. You have to get somebody on the roof to take a look at it. The other thing is the shingles. A lot of people have a misconception with shingles. They think I have 30-year shingles, so my roof is going to last 30 years. Typically in Florida, 30-year shingles never last 30 years. We actually went on a listing appointment. The roof was 22 years old, and the homeowner said, my roof is 22 years old and was clearly shot. It was in really bad condition. He said, I have 30-year shingles, so I have 8 years of life left on my roof. And he was adamant he had 8 years of life left on his roof. That's not how it works. So the takeaway from this video is if you're a buyer or a seller, you need to have a plan going into the transaction. Or if you're a seller, when you put the property on the market, you need to have a plan. How are you going to proceed if and when the roof comes up? If it's older, it's probably going to be when. And that would depend largely upon the type of market you're in. A strong seller's market, a strong buyer's market, a transitioning market, and your motivational level. But you need to have a plan. And the other caveat is, if you're a buyer and you're buying a home that somehow you squeak by, you get insurance with Citizens and the roof is, 18, 19 years old, it's really old. You don't want to be totally tapped out when you go into the purchase of that property. In a year or two, you have to replace the roof because the roof is not cheap. It could be $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 to replace the roof. One of the solutions is you save up for closing costs. Let's say you save up $12,000. You could have the seller, depending upon the market, pay your closing cost and take that $12,000 and put it into reserves for a new roof. But this is something to keep in mind and discuss with your agent. You have any questions or need to buy or sell real estate, reach me at the number below. Don't leave a comment and subscribe to our YouTube channel.